Excuse me, do you know why we pulled you over today? Exactly, it's because you're not subscribed. So you better fix that right now, or we're gonna have to take you in. Let's go to actual good display news, or at least like non-controversial display news. It's gonna be a bad take. I'm gonna be cancelled for that because there's a lot of controversy here. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Yeah, exactly. Our friends over at Studio Display, or Apple, brought out Studio Display, and the reviews are in. The reviews are in, and I can tell you it's not something inherently straight up good. A lot of people have questions, and I'm happy to answer them. I'm happy to answer them all. So, 6 out of 10 transition? Fuck you, dude. You sit over here, okay? And you stream.
Studio Display reviews, the Apple display we need, but with the webcam of an old BlackBerry. Rounding a busy week of Apple news, we're now getting a closer look at Apple's all-new Studio Display. Coming in with a 5K resolution at 27 inches and a $1,599 price point, the new Studio Display is being mostly well received by reviewers, but one thing you'll have to acknowledge is the lack of competition in this segment. Studio Display reviews. Writing for 6 Colors, Jason Snell explains that the new Studio Display is a welcome return for Mac users. Snell explains that while you might be able to find cheaper and bigger monitors on the market, the Studio Display serves as the sweet spot for Mac users. Are there cheaper monitors? Sure.
Yeah, but like it's not about... Okay. I'm just gonna say something that is probably going to get me cancelled, or a lot of people are going to hate me for it. But what I don't understand from a lot of people is that they just look at it and say like, oh, I can find a cheaper monitor. But it's not just about the monitor. Look, it's an all-in-one solution. So apart from obviously it not being a computer, but it is supposed to be something that is going to, I don't know, help someone find a solution to the screen, a solution to needing a webcam. Obviously, whenever they upgrade or update the software for it, hopefully it's going to be better. Anyways. The speaker, so like these things, especially if you, for example, if you compare it with stuff that is available in the Apple Store, right? Or stuff that a lot of people buy. The Brio is $200, if I'm not mistaken, something. A decent microphone, and I feel like the microphone in there is quite decent. It's also about $100, maybe $150, maybe even $200, right? Obviously, the quality might be better with a standalone mic. But if you do not mind it that much, and it is a very good mic. I'm not sure if you've heard the reviews, like I've seen the reviews, or some of them at least. The mic is pretty good. The camera needs some updating. After it's updated, it's probably going to replace that as well. Take some good speakers, some decent speakers, right? The ones that are in the Studio Display are decent. They might also be like $100, maybe $200. So there you have like $600 already that you can, or is supposed to replace. This display is supposed to replace all of that, and then you pay about $1,000 for the panel. That is how I see it. Now I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, "Oh, are you such an Apple fanboy? How the fuck can you think that?" No, this is just like. They put a lot of marketing behind all these features being in this screen, so it doesn't make sense, obviously, for someone who already has speakers, who already has a microphone, external microphone, and already has a Brio camera, and stuff like that. Like, obviously, to someone like that, it doesn't really matter. It's the same as you go to someone and say, like, okay, so you have a budget smartphone. You have a insane photo camera on you all the time. You have an insane video camera on you all the time as well. You have a Switch on you. I don't know, a lot of stuff. And then you're going to try and sell an iPhone to him or her. Then obviously for that person, unless he is into, or he or she is into having a powerful mobile phone, it doesn't really make too much sense to buy it. Because apparently they already have all these devices on them. They like it. Probably, otherwise you wouldn't have that on you. Excuse me. So then the total package is not going to be, yeah, something that you're interested in. So for most people, this phone replaces all of it. It replaces your camera, your point and shoot, or your I don't know, maybe even beyond that, right? Obviously, if you're in professional photography, then maybe you have your own camera. But let's talk about the normal consumer. This will replace your photo camera. This will replace your video camera. It will replace your budget smartphone or your budget phone. It will probably replace your handheld gaming device, whatever you have, right? This is stuff that it can replace, and then it makes sense that this device is $1,000 because it replaces a lot of stuff that combined, if you would buy it separately, unless you're into that, makes it either more expensive or you have to carry a bunch of stuff that you don't want to carry. So I would just say that you can't sell something to someone that already has most of the items that is attached to the product. So if you're talking to someone that needs all these things and is willing to use the professional microphone that's in the display, the decent speakers that are in the display as well, and hopefully the camera, if it gets updated, willing to use that camera as well, like I'm using the webcam on my MacBook right now to obviously stream and do my work. If that is enough for you, then it makes more sense because you can cut like $600 or euros off the budget for all this external hardware. If you want to upgrade all that stuff afterwards, then obviously, then it's not going to make as much sense. Or maybe you already have it, then yes, it is not going to make as much sense. This display is meant to replace all of that, and including and besides that, it's also going to be your display. So it's not just a display, it's not just a monitor. It's trying to, or at least it's meant to, replace most of the components there. If you look at, for example, the Pro XDR display, it doesn't have all these features. It doesn't have a Apple Silicon chip, it doesn't have all these things, because it's catered to people that need a very precise display. That is just, the feature is that it is going to be, I feel like they compared it to a reference display, right? Or reference monitor. So that is the key feature, and that is how you would sell it to someone. But if someone already has a reference monitor from Sony for $50,000, then yes, it doesn't make sense to buy a Pro XDR display. So I'm just like, to me, again, probably people are going to get angry, probably in the comments somewhere. I already start to get hate comments, mostly just delete them or ignore them. But to me, it just doesn't really make sense that you're going to call it just a display, whilst it is literally meant to be a replacement for a bunch of other things. Like, wasn't it Jonathan Morrison? He has a channel. It's such a great channel. You have to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. He's great. I feel like he made he's doing loads of shit with, for example, the iPhone SE. He has been using the how do you call it? The microphone of the MacBook as well for certain projects. iPhondo has done that as well. He made an entire song with like the microphone in the Mac. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there are creators that are showing people that these microphones and these cameras, right? The camera in the iPhone SE, for example. If this gets up to par, if they are able to do these updates, it is able to replace professional equipment. You can make songs, you can make content, you can make insane amount of things with that studio display, with the microphone, with the A13, with the camera, hopefully later, the speakers. It is meant to replace more than just your monitor. So anyways, I've been going on a tangent for a really long time. This is just crazy. True and real, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's just, this is crazy. I don't know why people don't see that, to be honest. It's just, they are just so... this is the last thing I'm going to say about this, hopefully. People just want to have something that they can hate. So if they just see like studio display, and it's for them, it's just a monitor, right? Because they're either not in the Mac universe, or they just do not care, and they just care about just their own ideas. Then it's probably just going to be either something that they can't compute, because, for example, PC people, they like to build their own stuff, and they probably have external microphones, an external a webcam, external speakers, and a lot of Mac people have that as well, right? But I'm trying to say is that a lot of other people in the Mac universe, they like these solutions, these all-in-one solutions, right? That's why the iMac is so beloved in the Mac community, in the Apple community. It's something that a lot of people like because it's all-in-one. Even though you can't replace a lot of things, people love it because of how great it is. You put the display on your table, it's done. That's it. That's the entire device, and it looks cool. It works great. It's just, it's more accepted in the Apple community to have something that replaces more things at once. And I feel like most PC people, and also some Mac people, right? They just do not get into that. They just feel like, well, I have all these things already, so how is this a good deal? Well, it's for mainly for people that either have a studio, and then they have more professional equipment, or it's for people that say like, okay, well, for me this is enough. The microphone is enough, I can make my music. Or the webcam is enough, I can do my meetings, I can do my streaming, I can record my videos. Or the speakers are enough, I can reference what I'm editing, I can hear what I'm editing, I can, I don't know, get into the vibes, right, of what you're creating. So if that is enough for your creative flow to go, and to keep going, then this is it. So, and that's literally what the display is for. Anyways, I've just been... let's go back to the article.
Are there bigger monitors? Yep. But the Studio Display is a perfect fit with modern Macs. There are undoubtedly new frontiers to be mined by Apple here. I would be surprised if there weren't a high dynamic range version of this display in a year or two, for an elevated price, but a 5K display at 27 inches isn't tired. It's tried and true. I can quibble about the $400 upsell on the adjustable stand, and roll my eyes a bit at Apple's overhyping the quality of its speakers and microphones. Still, the fact remains, if you've got a Mac and want a good external display for it, there's finally an obvious answer.
Again, I'm not sure if people like, is this crazy? Let me get into it.
Where's it off to?
anyways, it's absolutely mental. The creativity, obviously, the amount of talent that is in this guy, like that first and foremost. But to be able to make this on a iPad Pro from 2020, and we're talking about a display that came out in 2022, I would say it probably has either similar mics or something close to it. You can tell that people are able to make a a very epic cover of The Last of Us 2 theme song on an iPad. So imagine what you can do with that display. And people say like, oh, like Apple is hyping up the quality of its mics, whatever. Listen, we can get into this shit, and we can keep fucking going back and beyond over like, oh, the webcam and it sucks and blah 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 blah, and they have to update it, and we can't review anything on the promise of an update. No, you know what else you can't review anything on? Bias, fucking bias. Okay, that's something you can't review anything with. Anyways, it's completely mental. It's just something that I feel like I just, to me, we shouldn't even get into this, because like I'm just gonna get triggered and it's just gonna be mental. The camera will be fine after the update. Like, look at the iPhone 11. The front-facing camera was amazing. Check 520 at iJustine's review. Was the A13 in the... Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Was the A13 in the iPhone 11? Excuse me. 20. Okay. Let's turn the music off again. And let's up the gains on the sound a little. Let's go.
11R. They dropped that.
Oh,
so
sorry.
now this is
520. Yeah. I thought 420. Oh, she's in the park. Let's go.
a little photo test for you guys, just to kind of get a first little look, because this is the first time that I'm actually getting to spend some time with it. One of the new camera features that I really love is when you click right here, this little arrow button, that'll give you a wider angle view. So you can click that to go back, and it'll automatically give you that view when you rotate the phone now. Hey guys, it's Tyler. Oh, gotta get him in the shot. Slow-mo selfies are also a thing on the iPhone 11, not just the Max. So let's get a slowfie. I can't even say it. I knew I washed my hair for a reason today. I was gonna make a Pantene joke, but that's what I used. This is a Pantene commercial. All right, now let's test this out on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Oh my goodness. There it is. Looks just about the same as the iPhone 11. Obviously, one of the new highlights is the 3 cameras on the Pro.
Yeah, so this is like, it shows that obviously the quality of like image processing of the A13, right, is insane. It's crazy. So it's a 12 megapixel webcam on the studio display. So obviously we're going to get something close to the experience that we had on the iPhone 13. Now, I just, for me, it doesn't make sense that people are just constantly trying to shit on the display, shit on this, and yeah, we don't know. Obviously, we do not know what the result is going to be of these updates. Can I cover this thing? Oh, it's this way. Okay. Trying to cover the the green screen, the lacking of the green screen. Like, obviously we don't know what the difference is going to be between the updated software for the webcam and the state that it's in right now, but we can expect that if we have just logical, right, use your brain for a few seconds, just a few seconds. You can go into rage typing afterwards, right, the people on YouTube. For a few seconds, use your fucking brain. The same A13 as in the iPhone is in the display, right? Is that a lie? No, it's not a lie. It's true. It's in there. The let me put on some music again. The same, or at least something a similar camera, front-facing camera, is in the display. What do you think the results are of an image processor that is similar to the one that's in the iPhone, and a camera that's similar as the one that's in this iPhone? You tell me. Right? It's going to be good. So, I just don't understand. Obviously, there is a software bug right now. Apple already said that there is a software bug. But we have seen people create a song, a cover song, on an iPad Pro 2020 with a similar microphone. We have seen the image quality of the iPhone 11, with a similar chip and a similar camera. So, how can you say it's just a display? How can you say it's just something that's overhyped? How can you get into? It's meant. Thank you for obviously sharing this this video here. It's good. Like I can't remember all the all the reviews, so this is great. I remember when Volky got cancelled for defending the Pro XDR display. Literally, like I'm not even going to get into it. You can laugh it off, but like it was insane. Like Twitter, like my Twitter was just exploding with people going like, "Oh, you're just an Apple fanboy, this and the other." Okay, dude. Fine.
Still, the fact remains, if you've got a Mac and want a good external display for it, there's finally an obvious answer. Welcome home, Apple Studio Display. Never leave again. Gizmodo has some thoughts on the IPS panel inside the Studio Display. Apple did a good job of calibrating this panel so that the white balance and colors appear accurate out of the box. It's just really pleasant to look at. I cycled through those 4K wildlife videos you've probably watched on the back wall of a Best Buy, and the sharp details and vivid colors looked phenomenal. Viewing angles are excellent and, in my opinion, Apple chose the Goldilocks size for a workplay monitor by opting for a 27-inch display. One of the most interesting features of the Studio Display is its integrated webcam, which supports center stage among other features. The Verge, however, was not impressed with the quality of this camera. The bad part is that I have no idea what's going on with this webcam. Apple has a long history of producing amazing images with 12-megapixel sensors and A-series chips, and for some reason this thing just looks awful. Actually, it looks awful in good light, and downright miserable in low light. I've tried it connected to the Mac Studio and on my MacBook Pro running macOS 12.3, and on both machines it produces a grainy, noisy image with virtually no detail. I tried it in FaceTime, in Zoom, in Photo Booth, in QuickTime, you name it, it's the same sad image quality. Turning off the center stage feature that follows you around the room doesn't help. Turning portrait mode on and off doesn't help. The complaints regarding the webcam have been corroborated by other reviews, as well. Writing for the Wall Street Journal, Joanna Stern likens the camera quality to an old BlackBerry. Yet Apple's camera consistently produced grainy and washed-out images. There was so much missing detail in some of the shots that it reminded me of the camera on my old BlackBerry. On the plus side, no one could see my frizzy hair.
She's amazing. I'm just saying that, yeah, this is obviously a bug, and I expect it to get better. If it doesn't, then yeah, obviously there's a problem there. But like, if you can just logically look at what we had before, then you can probably like predict what is going to happen next. Should you buy anything on the promise of an update? No. Can you wait a few seconds before you buy the device? It's up to you. If you can, you will probably be safe. Just look at it, check the update. If it works, if it's something similar to the iPhone 11 or something close to it, dude, you're in. Joanna Stern is poggers? Yeah, she is poggers. Anyways, more news. Keep it bumping.